mountains. They said mountain view, but I don't see any mountains. Would you consider those mountains? I consider those like hills. Interesting. Oh, no, still not a mountain. I don't know. Well, guess we'll have to go find them. Good morning. Off to find some coffee. I slept in. I feel great. I'm gonna get some coffee, get a couple things done before I take off on the road. And it's time for day 3. This. Good morning. Today is technically day 4, but I'm doing a recap of day 3 because I was just so tired last night that I didn't do like a video at all, and I wanted to wrap up my day because it was actually a really good day. I didn't drive that much. I am really freaking exhausted. I think it's just kind of catching up to me, like not you know, like some of the places I've stayed, well, okay, so I've stayed in three hotels now. One, the second night was the absolute best one, and even there, like, I didn't get like a fully good night's sleep because it's like my dogs hear noise, they bark. Look at them. They're literally my favorite things ever. They're just always by my side. And so, you know, like when they hear something, I kind of panic because I'm like, oh, why are they barking? And you know, we're just like, we're away from home, and so yeah. I haven't slept very good, regardless of like how nice the place is. And this place was like not amazing. I'm gonna do like my little gua sha thing. I don't have it on me, but I'm gonna do this. This place I stayed in last night for my 3rd night, it was only $45, so I can't complain. It really wasn't that bad. The people around were actually really nice. I just always feel like almost paranoid and like sketched out. And it's just like one of those motels, and I didn't really like that it had like an actual key instead of like a key card, because then it's like, okay, I know how to pick a lock, so that's easy to get in. And I don't know. People will call me paranoid. I like to say I'm just really aware. Obviously, like, I don't let it hold me back. Like, I'm still out here doing the thing. But I do just, my mind always wanders to those things like, oh, this could happen. I've seen plenty of scary movies. I've, you know, listened to plenty of Dateline and Crime Junkie and all of that kind of stuff just to know that, like, weird things can happen. So I'm always aware of that, and I feel like that kind of makes me more nervous of staying in places like this, but I was totally fine. Like, I have my dogs. I always barricade the door. I know some people are like, that's so, like, why are you doing that? That's so extra. And then some people, I was on TikTok and they're like, wait, that's actually an amazing idea. I never thought about that. And it's like, obviously, sometimes I'm only able to put like chairs and stuff in front of it. I can't like completely barricade it, like somebody can still get in, but then I will hear it, because my fear is that somebody breaks in and I don't hear them, and something happens to my dogs, or, you know, whatever, and I don't know until it's too late. Again, I know I sound like, people are probably like, what the heck, but like I said, I think of those things all the time, but I don't let them ever hold me back. Like, I'm still out here doing things. I just like to be mindful and prepared. So yeah, that's kind of just what I do. But yeah, so last night I was just like you could hear it in my voice. I don't feel sick or anything. I just feel like I need to sleep. Oh my god, my eyes, for a very, very long time. So yeah, last night wasn't too bad, but I did get woken up. So yesterday I only drove a total of probably 6 or 7 hours. I've been aiming for 10. I was just so tired. I was like, I didn't really eat anything because I keep taking these back roads, and I'm like, oh, there's got to be a coffee shop or something soon. And it's like, yeah, in 98 miles. I'm like, ugh. And then I go through these little highway towns, and I'm like, are you kidding me? There's literally nothing here. How do you not have a coffee shop? Because I see so many people coming through. So then I don't eat a lot, and I get tired, and then I get really annoyed, and my dogs were they were just so sick of the car yesterday. They were over it. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna call it a night. It's so funny. So when I first decided that I was gonna move, I looked up Casper, Wyoming, and I was like, I'm gonna move there. I'm not even kidding. I paid for the application, and I was about to get this apartment because it looked really cute, and I hate Casper. I stayed here last night, and it's not bad, it's just not what I want. It's a small town, which I love. At least I think it's a small town. There's not a lot going on, and I don't need Nashville style, because I also thought about moving somewhere in Tennessee, because I'm not partying, I'm not drinking, but it is nice to have things going on if I wanted to go do something, instead of just actual just crackheads everywhere. So yeah, glad I didn't do that. I'm so glad that I decided to do the road trip thing, because that's why I'm doing this. I want to see all these places. I want to make sure that I actually like the place I'm going in North Carolina, or maybe I find somewhere along the road that I really like. I do really like Idaho. I thought about moving to Meridian before, a long time ago when I was bodybuilding. My coach was over there, and so I drive from Bend to Meridian a lot, and I was like, oh, I really like this place. It's I've been saying, I've been wanting to move for so long, so I'm always if I like a place, I'm like, oh, okay, I could live here, you know. I always picture myself, could I live here, could I not, kind of thing. Because I moved to Bend when I was 19, away from my hometown, and I wanted to move again. I loved Bend, but then it was 2 years in, I was like, okay, I'm ready for a new adventure, and I made so many friends. I don't know, people are always how are you gonna make community and friends, and it's well, you have to just be willing, you know. I worked at Dutch Bros, and I just I made more friends than I ever had growing up. It was crazy. And so no matter what I do, I still just look really tired. And I also lost my hairbrush, so I've been using my little whatchamacallit, the thing where you tease, my little tease brush. That's what I've been using. So this is the bathroom. It's actually, they trick you. So this I'm recording in here because it looks really cute, but it's not. I need to grab my stuff out of the shower. So there we go. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, so basically, I'm really glad that I'm doing this trip, because that way I can really see the places, because it's hard to rely on Google too. When I moved in Colorado Springs, everything looked great, but I didn't like it at all. At all. Living there is a completely different story than just Googling it and trusting what Google says. So that's why I'm out here. Exhausted. And living out of, not even boxes. Here's all my, like, shower stuff. I keep it in this little container, so if anything leaks, it's in here. And, it's easy to just, it's in my front seat, so I can just quickly grab it and load it back up when I'm done. I'm real tired. I need some freaking coffee. Oh, yeah, okay, so I didn't explain what I was gonna say last night. I got woken up twice, and, like, they were absolute, like, panic, startled wake-ups. Nothing was wrong, everything's fine. But, first time, Piper, like, oh my Bible, my face wash. Piper, like, went berserk, barking like crazy at the door. So, of course, like, that woke me up, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And, I was a little nervous. I was actually shaking, because, like, she doesn't just randomly do that, obviously. So I was like, did somebody walk by? And, I was like freaking out. And when I woke up, I was like wide awake. It was so weird. I was like, oh, I'm awake now. And then I laid in bed and was like, well, I might as well just get up and start my day now. Like, it's probably like 4 or 5 in the morning, because I saw like the light from outside. It was still on, so it was like shining through the curtains, so I literally thought it was day. And then I looked at my phone, and it was only midnight, and I fell asleep at like 10:30, 11. And so I was like, what the heck? I was so tired. How am I just like wide awake now? So I was like, okay. So I was trying to go back to sleep. I didn't want to look out the window because I was kind of nervous. Piper just stared at the door for a little bit. I was kind of nervous, like maybe somebody was like standing there or something. But the curtain is really obvious. Like, if I looked, and then me being paranoid, I was like, I don't want them to like know that there's only one girl in here, you know, like, I was like, whatever. And so I tried to look through the peephole, but I was too short for that, and so I was like, I gave up, and I just went back to bed. I was like, I don't care. Piper will definitely wake me up again if there's an issue. So then, it took me a while to get back to sleep, because then the dogs, like, it's so funny. So Piper is like the guard dog. Like, she is the first to like hear anything. I swear she doesn't sleep. Like, she just stares out the window all night. And she will be the one to bark first. Rocky is so funny, because when Piper barks, he gets scared and he curls up next to me, and last night I felt him like shaking a couple times. Like, he gets nervous, and then like at first he like freaks out, but then like when he realizes Piper needs him, then he like gets with her and like starts going at it too. But it's always kind of funny when Rocky like hides. He's like, help Mom, and I'm like, help Rocky, and we're both just shaking. But then the second time I woke up, this was awful. This has happened to me before, and it was absolutely awful. So I thought I heard a couple of like chirps and beeps from, there's a smoke detector in here, just like one that you would have at your house, because it's a non-smoking room, and that's kind of cool. I guess they're really like gung-ho on it. But the smoke detector went off in the middle of the night, like full beep, just long. Like, I was like what? And thankfully, like, has happened to me when I lived in an apartment with one of my friends. Like, our smoke detector, the battery died in the middle of the night, and so it went off, and we were like, we both ran out of our rooms, and we're like, oh my gosh, and we're like trying to like get it, and we're like trying to help each other, and then we took the battery out, and it's fine. Like, obviously there was no smoke or anything going on. And so ever since that's happened, anytime I hear like a chirp, because they'll go like chirp or beep, and the beep is kind of like a long hold. Every time I start hearing that, I panic, because that like drawn out so loud, terrifying, not something you want to wake up to in the middle of the night. So that happened, and of course I was also too short to reach that, and all they have is swivel chairs on wheels, and so I'm up there like trying to get it like in the middle of the night. And that, like, my dogs didn't even bark at. They were just like, they were terrified. They're like, what's happening? So that was fine. Either that, or I did look it up because I was like, I want to make sure it was just like a battery. But it also said that it could happen like when your room reaches a certain temperature, because I've got the AC on blast here. It's really cold. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but that was my night. So now I'm ready for day 4. I'm about to head out. It's like probably 7 now. I wanted to wake up earlier, but again, I'm just exhausted. Like, I know it's just driving, but it's like the act of like living out of this, you know, being on high alert, driving, like focusing, my dogs, like the constant just like, I feel like stressors basically. Like nothing's going wrong, like nothing's stressing me out, but if you think about it, all these little things like do build up, and it's just making me really tired. And kind of brings me to like the last thing I wanted to talk about for this day, because it was heavily on my mind, because a lot of people ask like, oh, you know, like how do you not like get lonely, like how are you okay with being alone all the time? And it's like, of course I get lonely, like I talked about in my first video, like, excuse me, you know, I'm human, like us humans just, we want somebody around, you know, we want like companionship and love and stuff. And I am a lot more independent. Like I don't necessarily like need that, but like I still like, there's times where it's like, yeah, that's all I want, you know, kind of thing. But for me, it's not even like being alone, because like my love language is like acts of service. It's not even physical touch, was like down below. Like I don't even really care. Like that's why like my friends like fulfill me enough to like not have to seek out like all of these like little relationships. Like when I'm single, like I'm actually single, like I'm not talking to people, I'm not going on dates, I'm not sleeping around, and it's totally fine if you want to do that, but like to me, like it's just wasted energy constantly. Like why would I swipe right on Tinder just to have a conversation, just to sleep with you, and just to do it again and again and again with a different person? That just seems really exhausting to me. I don't want to do that. And I know people are trying to do it like to get a relationship, you know, they're not trying to like repeat that pattern, but they're like, oh, this is gonna be the one, but then it doesn't work out, and then they're like, all right, on to the next. And it's like, that is so emotionally draining. Why don't you put that energy into yourself and just like go do your thing, and when you find somebody, you can actually like, this is the one person I'm talking to. Like, I don't know, I mean, I've had kind of crappy relationships, so maybe I'm not one to judge, but at least like, I don't know, my energy's only wasted on one guy for 2 years instead of like 5 guys. I don't know. I got myself there. But anyways, so my thing is like, I don't need like a body next to me, but I get so exhausted like having to be so independent. Like I am independent because I have to be independent, and it's literally been like this my whole entire life, and it gets exhausting. There's some days like yesterday where I was like, wow, it's not like I need someone, like, you know, like I'm not like, oh, I really wish I had someone here. It's like, I really wish I just had someone to like make the decisions for me. Like, and I've never had that in a relationship either, and I think that's why I get bored, and I've always broken out with my boyfriends, is because like, or not even just bored, but like frustrated, because it's like, I have to make so many decisions throughout the day. I have to do so many things for myself, and the last thing I want to do is decide where to eat. Like, I'm good with anything. I'll tell you what I don't want, or you should know like what I genuinely don't like, and make a decision based on that. Just say, hey, we're going here, does that sound good? And I can say yes or no. Love that. Never had that. I don't know why it's so complicated. They're like, you choose. I'm like, okay, well, what about this place? No. And I'm like, then you choose, please, because I cannot mentally handle this. So that's kind of just like how I've been feeling, because obviously I have to make all these decisions. Which route am I going to drive? Where am I going to stay? What am I going to eat? Like all these things, and like, I know some people are probably like, well, that's just like basic life. And it's like, yes, but like, then I look at like other people that have gone on trips, and they're like, yeah, my boyfriend just like, he took care of it all. And I'm like, that must be nice to just like only have to worry about like waking up and like, you know, whatever. And so that's what I'm looking for in my next relationship, is just someone who like will take action and like basically guide me so I can like relax, because I've never been able to just like feel like safe in a relationship, like in the terms of like he's got me taken care of, like, and I'm not talking about like financially or anything, just like I can trust him to guide me in the right direction. I can trust him to make dinner reservations, travel plans, pay the bills, like obviously like I'll have my own, you know, but like he can take care of things. Like that's all I freaking want. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up and I'm gonna take off for day 4, so stay tuned for today.